The global car market has been hit hard by the COVID-19 pandemic and the chip shortage that followed. In this section, we will explore how these two factors affected the demand and supply of cars around the world and created opportunities for domestic car makers. The COVID-19 pandemic disrupted the global car market in several ways. First, it reduced the demand for cars as people stayed at home, avoided travel, and faced economic uncertainty. According to the International Organization of Motor Vehicle Manufacturers, OCA, global car sales dropped by 16% in 2020 compared to 2019, reaching the lowest level since 2010. Second, it disrupted the supply chain of car components, especially semiconductors, which are essential for modern cars. Semiconductors are used for various functions in cars, such as engine control, infotainment, safety, and navigation. As the pandemic hit, car makers cut back on their orders for chips, expecting lower demand for cars. However, as the pandemic progressed, the demand for other electronics that use chips, such as smartphones, laptops, and gaming consoles, surged as people shifted to remote work and entertainment. This created a mismatch between the supply and demand of chips, leading to a global shortage that still persists today. The chip shortage has forced many car makers to slash their production, delay new models, and lose sales. According to Bloomberg Intelligence, the chip shortage could cost the global car industry $61 billion in lost revenue in 2021. Some of the major car makers that have been affected by the chip shortage include General Motors, Volkswagen, Ford, Toyota, Honda, and Nissan. The chip shortage has also impacted the availability and prices of cars for consumers. According to Consumer Reports, some popular models, such as the Ford F-150, Toyota RAV4, and Honda Civic, have become scarce and more expensive due to the chip shortage. However, not all car makers have been equally affected by the pandemic and the chip shortage. Some domestic car makers have been able to take advantage of the situation and gain market share. For example, in China, which is the largest car market in the world, domestic car makers such as Geely, BYD, and NIO have increased their sales and profits by offering competitive products and services, especially in the electric vehicle segment. In India, which is the fifth largest car market in the world, domestic car makers such as Maruti Suzuki, Tata Motors, and Mahindra have also gained market share by catering to the rising demand for affordable and fuel-efficient cars. In Brazil, which is the sixth largest car market in the world, domestic car maker Fiat has become the market leader by launching new models and expanding its dealer network. In conclusion, the pandemic and the chip shortage have had a significant impact on the global car market and created opportunities for domestic car makers. While some of the challenges may be resolved in the near future as chip supply improves and vaccination rates increase, some of the changes may be more lasting as consumer preferences and competitive dynamics shift. Therefore, car makers need to adapt to the new reality and innovate to meet customer needs and expectations. What are the main factors driving the demand for domestic cars in 2023, such as innovation, sustainability, affordability, and customer loyalty? Domestic cars are vehicles that are assembled in the U.S., Canada, and Mexico and sold in the United States. According to the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis, domestic car sales have been increasing steadily since the beginning of 2023, reaching 206.259 thousand units in April 2023, up from 164.042 thousand units in December 2022. This is a remarkable performance considering the global challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, the semiconductor chip shortage, and the rising competition from foreign automakers. So what are the main factors that are driving the demand for domestic cars in 2023? Let's take a look at some of them. Innovation. Domestic car manufacturers have been investing heavily in research and development to produce innovative vehicles that meet the changing needs and preferences of consumers. For example, Ford has launched its all-electric Mustang Mach-E SUV, which has received positive reviews for its performance, design, and technology. Toyota has introduced its hydrogen-powered Mirai sedan, which emits only water vapor and can travel up to 402 miles on a single tank. And General Motors has unveiled its Ultium battery platform, which will power a range of electric vehicles across its brands, including Chevrolet, Cadillac, GMC, and Buick. Sustainability. Domestic car manufacturers have also been focusing on sustainability as a key factor to attract environmentally conscious consumers and comply with stricter emission regulations. For example, Honda has set a goal to achieve carbon neutrality by 2050 and to sell only zero-emission vehicles by 2040. Subaru has pledged to reduce its environmental impact by 30% by 2030 and to offer at least one electrified model in every vehicle category by 2035. And Mazda has launched its Skyactiv X engine, which combines gasoline and diesel technologies to improve fuel efficiency and reduce emissions. Affordability. Domestic car manufacturers have also been offering affordable options for consumers who are looking for value and quality in their vehicles. For example, Hyundai has launched its Elantra sedan, which starts at $19,650 and offers a range of features such as wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, blind spot monitoring, and lane keeping assist. Kia has introduced its Forte sedan, which starts at $17,890 and offers a spacious cabin, a large trunk, and a standard 8-inch touchscreen. And Nissan has revamped its Sentra sedan, which starts at $19,410 and offers a sleek exterior, a comfortable interior, and a standard safety shield 360. Customer loyalty. Domestic car manufacturers have also been cultivating customer loyalty by providing excellent service and support to their customers. For example, Chevrolet has ranked highest in customer satisfaction among mass-market brands for 7 consecutive years according to J. Power. Ford has offered complimentary maintenance for 3 years or 36,000 miles for its new vehicles. And Toyota has provided roadside assistance for 2 years or unlimited miles for its new vehicles. These are some of the main factors that are driving the demand for domestic cars in 2023. Domestic car manufacturers have shown resilience and adaptability in the face of unprecedented challenges and have delivered innovative, sustainable, affordable, and reliable vehicles to their customers. As a result, domestic car sales are defying predictions and outperforming expectations in 2023. Domestic car makers are facing a number of challenges and risks in the competitive and dynamic car industry. In this section, we will explore some of these factors and how they can be overcome. One of the biggest challenges is the shift to electric and self-driving vehicles, which require significant investment in research and development, as well as adaptation to new regulations and consumer preferences. According to a report by Evercore ISI, car makers have to add on average 1,000 euros of content to cars to make them comply with the new CO2 emission standards in Europe. Moreover, many car makers are not ready to deliver electric vehicles at the right quantities, as they need to change their operations and gear the cars much more to a mass market. Self-driving cars also pose potential safety and liability issues, as well as ethical and social dilemmas. To overcome these challenges, domestic car makers need to innovate and collaborate with other players in the industry, such as technology companies, suppliers, regulators, and customers. They need to invest in new technologies and skills, while also maintaining their core competencies and brand identity. They need to balance the trade-off between cost and quality, as well as between short-term profitability and long-term sustainability. They need to embrace the opportunities that electric and self-driving vehicles offer, such as lower emissions, higher efficiency, improved safety, and enhanced customer experience. Another challenge is the rise of ride-sharing and rental services, such as Uber, Lyft, and Turo, which are expected to change the face of car ownership. According to experts at the 2019 Collision Conference in Toronto, these services reduce the costs and hassles of owning a car, such as parking and insurance. As a result, some consumers may opt for accessing cars rather than owning them, which could reduce the demand for new car sales. To overcome this challenge, domestic car makers need to diversify their business models and revenue streams by offering more mobility solutions and services to their customers. They need to leverage their existing assets and capabilities, such as their dealer networks, customer relationships, and data analytics. They need to partner with ride-sharing and rental platforms, or create their own, to reach new markets and segments. They need to understand the changing needs and preferences of their customers, and provide them with more flexibility, convenience, and value. A third challenge is the impact of trade wars and tariffs on the global car market. The US-China trade dispute has affected both car sales and production in the two countries. According to NBC News, tariffs on aluminum and steel have already added $240 to the cost of producing a new vehicle. Moreover, President Donald Trump has threatened to impose additional tariffs on imported vehicles and automotive parts from other countries, such as Mexico, Canada, and the European Union. These tariffs could increase the prices of cars for consumers, as well as disrupt the supply chains and operations of car makers. To overcome this challenge, domestic car makers need to adapt their strategies and operations to the changing trade environment. They need to optimize their sourcing and production decisions by considering factors such as costs, quality, availability, and risks. They need to diversify their markets and suppliers by exploring new opportunities and partnerships in other regions. They need to advocate for fair trade policies and practices by engaging with governments and industry associations. They need to mitigate the effects of tariffs on their customers by offering discounts or incentives. These are some of the challenges and risks that domestic car makers face in the competitive and dynamic car industry. However, they are not insurmountable. With innovation, collaboration, diversification, and adaptation, domestic car makers can overcome them and thrive in the future.